What up? I'm back. It's the 15th of June. Today has been, I don't know, man. My brain's kind of jacked up right now. It's not good or bad. I don't know. It just got weird for a second, real quick. I don't know. My brain is blank. I just got through working out a little bit, not much. Out here in the sun, as the sun's going down. It's fun. Then I get so much stronger every day. It's so stupid. But it's cool, man. It's cool. I just got through painting a little bit ago. I had 5 canvases left. 5 little canvases. So I just kind of put them all together and just painted something. And I love it. It's probably my favorite so far. I don't know. I was listening to this song called Runaway. The song that's going to be playing during this talk. During me talking to myself, which is cool. So this will be the fourth. This will be maybe the 4th or 5th video of me videotaping myself paint. But this will probably be the 3rd or 4th talk where my painting video and my talk are the same talk, or the same music. Which is good. I like to do it that way because it keeps me in the same vibe, like, for eternity. And so the video is going to be the same vibe, and then this talk, wherever it goes, it's going to be the same vibe, same energy, same whatever, same inspiration, I guess you would say. And but I'm out of paintings. I'm out of canvases. So I guess I'm done painting for a minute, and that's fine. Honestly, that's completely fine, because I have no idea what's going on in my life. Like, I know I gotta go be a man and go take care of some shit, and I'm not happy about it, but this is kind of the end of the road, or this is kind of the end of the cycle, and I got to go. And I kind of just realized now why I've put this thing off so long. And sometimes I don't know, I get like a fear. I've always had fear of my potential. And I've been dragging this out. I always drag things out. Well, put it this way. So like when my mom died, I was on a when she passed away, I was on a remodel, and I mean, crap, that was a year ago. Not even a year ago yet. I guess in August. But I lost the rest of my drive when she passed away, and a lot of it was I had a lot of talks in the house, a lot of phone calls, a lot of emotion. And I lost my drive, and maybe just walking around pity pouting all the time, just whatever, just trying to figure. Plus, I was changing. Like, I started changing before then. I tried to going through this awakening process before then, trying to figure out all this crap, you know. And then that just kind of came in the midst of it, and you know, her being sick, and then whatever, and her passing, and all that stuff. But and then like I just could never. My drive was gone to work. Which it was, I mean, it's not like it was there before either, but I mean, it kind of, I lost the rest of it. It just seemed pointless, at that point, other than just whatever I had to do to just barely get by, and I had enough money that it really didn't matter, like, there was no stress level there. It just is what it is, and, whatever, so it took me a long time to finish it, and, very long time, and but a lot of it was because just like I had emotions in that house, I had this in that house, I had that, like, and like if I finished it, then it would be done, and so I was running away. I was running away from ending a cycle, and then having to step into something new. But once I got it done, I was relieved. it was done. It was whatever, and it was easy. Then it was something new, whatever. So it's the same thing now. It's like I have one thing I gotta finish, and but I guess ultimately I've just been running away from doing it because I know once it's done, like, who knows? And like the sky is the limit. And I talked to somebody today, and I kind of told him, I was like, my whole life I've been scared to be my true self. I've been scared to be whatever my potential is. I've been afraid my whole life. It's like if I was to punch you in the face, I would never punch you as hard as I could. I always had like a rev limiter on me, just on my person, and I've known this since I was little. I've known this since I was little. Like it's so stupid that I've known it, but I've always just known that even as angry as I get, like there's always a rev limiter on me. Because I know what my true potential is, and it scares me. It's always scared me. But I think it was because, and I'm not really afraid of failing. I think that's what I tell myself to help put that rev limiter on me. But I'm not. I'm afraid of being great. I've always been afraid of being great. And it sounds super weird, but I've been afraid of doing well. I've been afraid of all these things that I got tattooed on my arm. I was afraid of all those things. I was afraid of having those things. Thought I wasn't worthy of having them. But I've been worthy of having these since I was born, since day one, when I knew I had them, but I was afraid. Like it wasn't, I just couldn't step into it. And so it's kind of like the same thing now. It's like I know what I am. Like I know what I'm meant to be. I just have to step into it. And whatever happens, happens. Just be my true authentic self, whatever that may be. Step into my power, step into my strength, step into my love. Step into my grace. Step into my abundance. And do what I was bred to do. Do what I was made to do. Be who I was made to be. Which is Cody. Whatever that entails. But I'm not like anybody else. Yet I'm everybody else at the same time. I talked to somebody today kind of and how I was such a master. I'm a master chameleon, and with that comes master manipulator and mimicker. But mimic and chameleon are the same thing, but not really. They're two different aspects. But in talking, like, she said she didn't know who she was then, because she's also a chameleon. And then I responded with, but that's who you are. And it took me a minute to understand this concept. It took me a long time, actually. It took me many months, and my whole life altogether, to understand that being that I am a master chameleon, all of those versions are me. Because I look at my life again, and every family that I walked into, every human that I've been with, I've took from them information and use it. I've took mannerisms, the way they speak, the way they move, the way they tilt their head, body expressions, all that stuff, and I took all those skills from all these humans. And that's me. So no matter what my body does, that's me. And which this is super weird. Because then it's almost like you're always your true authentic self, always. You just want to fine tune what you're doing. That's the only thing. There's like, because technically, if you see people on TikTok all the time and then you want to dress like them and talk like them, then ultimately that's who you're going to become. And that's the version of you that you are living. And then technically that's as real as it can get. Because if that's how you act, if that's what you want to act like, then that's who you are. Now, it's super weird. Yeah, I mean, that's you. Because then you look at yourself as like, say you go through an emo phase. The only reason why you're going through emo phase is because you're giving yourself emo music all the time and you're dressing in black. And so everything you're doing turns you into an emo kid. And you listen to music that makes you sad and you're whatever, doing emo stuff, which is hilarious. I love emo music. And I like the country phase. Like I was country for a long time, wore cowboy boots. I still wear cowboy boots. I still like cowboy hats. You know, I don't like baggy jeans. I mean, that's me. But I gave a lot of time to that when I was growing up. I listened to country music all day, every day. For a season, you know. We're probably going through high school, probably middle school and high school. And so, obviously what you give your time to, that's what you're going to become. And it's not you faking it. I mean, you're trying to fit in, right? But ultimately, the more time you give, that's what you become. So, I mean, I can remember kids that were kind of, didn't know who they wanted to be. So ultimately, they were just giving time to different groups of people, and then they were just kind of, chameleon with each group of people, and that's fine. But they don't know who they are. And that's fine, because that's humans in general. Like, we don't know who we are ever, really. And that's a huge question. And like right now in my life, like, I'm understanding that well, okay, so this is the issue. This is the thing. Is when you're trying to find out who you are by using external sources, that's when it's not authentic. But the reason why it's not authentic is because you're still ultimately just trying to figure it out. But what you're doing is you're taking other people's person and you're a shapeshifter all the time. And you're not comfortable in yourself because you're still confused at who you are. And that's fine. Because honestly, I've never really got mad at people for that. Like, I've never picked up on that. I just pick up on people hiding stuff and lying to me. That's what I don't like. That's what I can pick up on. I can maybe see, like, you know, you're not comfortable or something like that. But yeah. But when you start looking at yourself, you really start to find out really what you do like. Like, so maybe you do like tight pants. I don't like, you know, skinny jeans. They feel weird, man. I don't like them. They feel compressed around me. They suffocate me. It's almost like shirts. I hate. I won't wear a tie. I cannot wear a tie because I suffocate, and I was suffocated my whole life. Like, I don't like top buttons. Plus my neck is kind of thick, and so it always feels like I'm suffocating, and I hate it. Because it ultimately just makes me feel like a child and someone's choking me. So, like, I know the things that I like. And I've always known what I like. I've been like that since I was little. And I always done stuff. I guess that's different. Because I've always just done what I want to do no matter what. I wear what I want to wear no matter what. I'm not really trying to impress anyone. The only time I ever really would dress up or even wear a button-up shirt is if I knew my mom wanted me to. And I think one wedding I went to, I did wear one. Or like if I go to somebody's wedding, then I'll be like, you know what? I at least need to put a button shirt. I'm not gonna button the top button, but I need to at least wear a dress shirt. I don't know. Maybe Under Armour makes some cool stuff. Maybe I should wear look into that at some point. But cause I wear Under Armour all day. But yeah, so I don't know, man. I don't know where this went. But I'm a chameleon, man, and that's what I said when I realized who I am. So like, I'm multiple people, man, and I'm more than like I have two sets of sunglasses. I got a black pair and a white pair. Duality, just straight up, you know. It's weird. Like 90% of the time, I'm wearing a blue sock and a red sock. I don't know. It's just how it works out. I always have duality in my life. It's always been there. It's just me, and it took me a while to be comfortable with me being a chameleon. Only because I knew I was a chameleon, so I thought I didn't know who I was. Because I was like, I'm always shifting into other things, other people, and I thought that wasn't me. But now I'm understanding that is me. That is me. Even in my talks, I shift. And there's no one here. I'm not impressing anyone. This is ultimately for Cody. This is for me. I'm not trying to impress anyone. There's no alternative motives. There's not a goal in mind other than for me to just freely talk. And whatever comes out, comes out. And so now I'm understanding, like, I have these skills. I morph. I change. I'm a chameleon. I can fit into any group of humans. Any of them. You know, it may be a little bit difficult if they don't speak my language. I don't know. I haven't had a lot of experience with that. Other than like, well, I mean, I guess I do, because like Hispanics will come up and speak Spanish to me, and I'll just be like, hey, I'm like, hey man, what's up? And then I see their brain shatter, and they're like, you don't speak Spanish? And I'm like, no, dude, I don't speak Spanish. Dude. I'm here in America, and I speak English. And whatever. And then either they talk in English to me, or they leave me alone. So, it's one or the other. It's not good or bad. It just is what it is. But I've seen this a lot. It's funny to me. It's hilarious to me. Because I'm not even going to talk about any of that stuff. That's hilarious, though. But yeah, so just me being able to understand, like, who I am in the world is I am a chameleon. And that's Cody. Because my whole life experience has made me be able to adapt to any situation. And I know where I fit in. I know what is needed in every group situation. I know if I need to be quiet and I need to allow someone else to lead. Or if someone is more knowledgeable in a situation, like, why would I lead something I'm not knowledgeable in? Like, there's no point in that. Like, if they have more knowledge, I need to listen to them and whatever. So, I mean, it's a really good skill to have, and it's me. But ultimately, there's a baseline Cody. And then, through me talking every single day, I found it. I found out who I am with no one else around. And I like that version of me, too. Like, I like Cody. Like, I like laughing. I like being with myself. I like enjoying my own presence. I fill my own cup. You know? I don't need to hang out with other people in the sense of, like, I don't really need their validation to form or to feel important, or I'm trying to think. Like, I don't find my worth in other people. I've already found my worth in myself. And it's a very, it's a kind of weird to talk about, because I don't know really how to explain it, because it just is now. It's like, because I do hang out with people during the day. And I do want human interaction. And I could say, I may ultimately need human interaction, but I don't have to have it. If that makes any sense. And I know it contradicts itself, but I know Cody, and I've lived 35 years with limited human interaction. There's been weeks, months that I don't talk to a human. And I'm okay with that. I'm capable of it. I'm fine with it. And now, knowing who I am, and knowing I find love in myself, I find companionship in myself. I fulfill all my own needs on my own. Yeah, it would kind of suck to not talk to my friends, to talk to people that I enjoy their company. Yeah. But I'm more than capable of being alone and not changing my mood. Yeah, I may miss you, but I also have the skill of walking away from any human being and never looking back. It's a very bad skill to have now. But it's also a protection mechanism for me. And that came back, I came back a couple weeks ago. And it's never left me because I can do it anytime I want. I've always been able to do it anytime I want. It's like the hit it, forget it type of, method. I'm just that type of human. I've been scarred so many times my whole life. I'm broken so many times in my life. It was something I just picked up, a defense mechanism. And I still have it. No, I will always have it. It's not the right, 90% of the time it's not the right thing to do, but that 10% of the time it's a good skill to have, because ultimately it just protects me. And if implemented right, then it's fine. And it just deals with me running out of grace. Or I have an endless hope gene, which means I give. I forgive. I hope for the best over and over and over and over again, even though my brain tells me that they're never going to change. My heart tells me they're never going to change. And at some point, I just have to walk away. Because otherwise, it's just ultimately just keeps breaking my heart over and over again. And and I get fed up with it, and I'm just like done. And I gotta go figure out how to heal my heart from a lost cause. And there's real lost causes, man. I hate it, dude. I hate it so much because I don't want to leave anyone behind, but I'm not. That's the point, and that's part of this whole process that I had to go through. I had to go from I cannot change a single human being. I cannot. I can't. All I could do is be me. That's it. I have no control over any other human being. I can't get inside their head. I can't morph things around, change their perspective. I cannot do it. No matter what I do for them, it's never enough. It's a lost cause. It's a battle that I cannot win. And I fight these battles all day, every day. That's what I love to do. I like to take on impossible tasks. And it's literally impossible for me to change somebody. Literally. Yet I do it every time. I'm the greatest failure in the world. Because I've failed every single time. Every single time. I've never succeeded in changing somebody. Ever. Either they've changed on their own, or they don't. I'm the greatest failure there's ever been. And I've done it since I was little. Bend over backwards to change people, to help people, to inspire people, to just be me. And I've never won once. They either choose to change and do the work on their own, or they don't. It has nothing to do with me. I don't know why I play game. I play a game I cannot win. And so now I'm learning that I can't. I can't change anyone, and I'm quit playing a game that is ultimately impossible. I cannot change no one, except myself. And that's the only game that matters. And so I did it. It took me 35 years. Maybe even 36. And to change somebody. And the only person that I could change, the only game that was even real, was the game with myself. And I quit running away. And it's so funny, like, running away. Because sometimes you think you're doing the right stuff, but you're not. You're still just running. Yeah, you're reading the right books. Yeah, you're watching the right stuff. Yeah, you're filling your brain with knowledge. But you're still running away. Because you're wasting your time. Because you're not acting. You're not putting all that knowledge to work. You're not implementing any of it. None of it. So what you're doing is you're wasting your time learning all this stuff, but you're never going to implement it. So you're tricking yourself into thinking that you're doing the right stuff, but you're never going to change. You're never going to change until you start acting and implementing all this stuff that you've learned. You have all the knowledge. That's what's so funny. Yeah, you did the work. You did half the work. You did your school. You went to school and got a degree, but then you never got a job. You never implemented what you learned. And therefore, you're never going to get returns from it. It's just a wasted investment. You ultimately wasted your time. And you're going to waste your time for eternity because you're never going to change. Unless you do the work now. Unless you take physical action and start implementing everything you've learned. And that's what I did. That's what I had to do. And I remember, because I was like, dude, it's so funny how mean I've been to myself. Through this whole journey. It's funny. Because it's like, I would sit there in my room and I'd be like, hours and hours and hours of information. Multiple screens going on at the same time. Videos, sound, like headphones, just words. Words, videos, all going at the same time. Just information, like all day, every day. And then finally I was like, this is stupid. Cody, you're so dumb. Like, you're sitting here in the room and nothing's changing. All you did was, instead of playing video games, now you're learning stuff. I was like, but what's the point of learning if you're not doing any of this stuff? If you're not changing your wiring in your brain, if you continue to do the same stuff over and over again, and now you're just kind of like watching information too, like nothing's changing. Faith without works is dead. I was like, Cody, you're so stupid, bro. And so finally I was just like, I'm done. No more reading. No more watching stuff unless just something is real quick and I can just watch a real quick video and be done with it. But like, no more hours and hours and hours of information. No more. I was like, that's so dumb. I was like, I just have to start implementing all this stuff every day. And I have to choose to be happy every single day. I have to choose to, before I get out of bed, when I open my eyes, speak gratitude. Just as soon as I open my eyes, just be like, I'm thankful that I woke up. I'm thankful for the day. Today's going to be a beautiful day. It's going to be perfect. I'm thankful for the sun rising. I'm thankful for the blanket I have. I'm thankful for the pillow that I have. I'm thankful for this. I'm thankful for the 35 years I had with my mother. I'm thankful for the food that I have. Like, every day before I get out of bed, I just started doing that. And then I would wake up and go get in the shower, started taking care of myself, started doing stuff that I never did my whole life, which was care about myself. Started eating healthy food, starting to be, give myself time. Start doing stuff for me. Start spending money on myself. Whether it was something, something fancy, or something nice, eating good food. Started treating myself like I loved myself and respected myself and that I was worthy of this attention. I finally started giving myself attention instead of giving my attention to learning or giving my attention to other people all the time. I was like, all this information, now I have to apply it. So I started doing that. And then throughout the day, I started watching and controlling my thoughts. And I would have thoughts come in about my mom, and I would be sad, and I would either face them and sit in them, and I'll be cutting grass, bawling like a little baby all day, every day, And then sometimes something would come up, and I would instantly just start using that gratitude again, saying, I'm thankful for this, I'm thankful for that. I'm thankful for my mower, I'm thankful for my truck, I'm thankful for food, water. And then those thoughts would go away, the things that I didn't want to battle, the things that was making me upset, whether it was, not talking to my older brother anymore or whatever, stupid stuff like that, and or whatever, my heart being broken and stuff like that, and so I would just work all the time, all day, every day. And as time went by, I got better and better and better at it. And I learned to control my thoughts. I learned to be aware and, be mindful of all this stuff in my head. Because before I started this process, I was creating stories about everything. It took her this long to text back, or he said this, and I'm creating all these crazy stories in my head and overthinking about every situation and ultimately just stressing myself out with all these movie productions in my head that were false. Or who knows, they could be right, but it doesn't really matter because I never know the outcome. And the unknown is what kills people and puts people in fear. And so every day, all day, man, this is all I did was I'd be cutting grass, or I'd be working, thoughts would come up and I would just learn to control them, be aware. And if I didn't like the thoughts and I didn't have time to cry, or I wasn't in a place where I could cry, I would back that emotion away and use gratitude to knock it away. And then take back control of my brain. And like I said, over time, boom, I started getting control of it and I got better and better and better. And at some point, I took control of my own brain and my own thoughts. And then, so I went out of town. I didn't want to go anywhere. But I went on a trip. We drove back. I battled a bunch of stuff there. I had a lot of battles. Maybe even some anxiety attacks or a panic attack. Not really a panic attack, but just an emotional attack twice. It was super weird because I never really had them before. They were bad. And it was just, my body would just welled up, like verge of me to break down. Like I physically knew I was fixing to break down. I was about to break. And I broke a little, but I'm still super strong, so I didn't break completely. And then another one, whatever, happened too. And then when I came back, I ended up going on another trip out of town. And that was pretty good, that whole trip. But when I came home, I was like, I cannot fall back into the old cycles that Cody had. And so I was like, I need to delegate my time to something constructive. And so I was like, you know what, I tried to draw, and I couldn't draw. Because the perfection part, no matter how I drew, like, it freaked me out. And nothing was ever perfect enough for me. And so it made me feel like a little kid. So I was like, well, I need an outlet. And so I started painting. I just went and bought to Hobby Lobby, bought paint and some canvases, and I was like, let's just see what happens. Because in my brain, I looked at abstract art and I was like, that's perfect. Like, no matter what stroke you you go, it doesn't matter. Curved lines or crooked lines, like, it doesn't freaking matter. Like, that's perfect. That's abstract art. Okay, I can do that. I just have to be able to walk away. I have to learn to be okay with no matter what happens in life, it's perfect. Once it's done, it's done. Now, drawing, I can't do that because it's tangible. I just cannot. Because it's supposed to look a certain way. Some type of uniformness. And abstract is no uniform. It's just chaotic and random, like my brain. And, so whatever. And I started talking to myself every night. So in the morning, I would do my gratitude. And then when I would lay my head down at night, I knew I was getting ready to talk. And this is before I even started recording my stuff. I would lay my head down and just talk out loud. I would just talk out loud to myself and, my creator or whatever. And I would just talk. I would ask myself questions. I would answer them. I would write in a journal. I haven't wrote in my journal in a while, because this is my journal. But I would write in my journal every night, or whenever something came up, ideas, whatever. And so I just started freely giving myself time. All I did was give myself time. And I would talk, ideas, try to work things out, work out ideas. I started working out too. And I had a rowing machine that I bought a couple years ago and never used it. And then when my mom passed, well, before she passed, when I started group therapy, I just had so much energy and stuff. I started rowing and I really loved it. I learned to love it. Like, I like the battle. I like the emotions. I like testing myself. So I started using that to battle in my brain old ideas and old trauma and stuff. And so I would do that too. Like, so every day, like, I was nonstop working on myself 24/7. This is why everything that I have says 24/7, because I'm with myself 24/7. And the only one who can change me was me. The only one. So whatever. So man, I started battling on the damn rowing machine. I'm sweating, I'm crying, I'm just going to town like as hard as I can. There's emotions going up and down. I'm always listening to music, and I would pick songs that I could battle to, and so each song has certain battles that I did with it, and they're tied to stuff. I have songs that remind me of my mother, where I was battling stuff about her, when I was battling stuff about my birth mother, all that stuff. Like, and so I just kept giving myself time. Action, action, action. And it was anything but easy. It was the worst. And this is where I lose compassion for humans. Because people, all they talk about is they want to change, they want to change, they want to change. Well, then fucking do it. It's that fucking simple, man. It's effing hard, bro. I lived it. I lived it for a year and a half, and I'm doing it every single day, man. I had to battle my pride and ego every single day. You know how miserable that is to admit that you're wrong every fucking day? Every day? It's the worst, bro. I was wrong about this. Boom. I gotta be humble enough to change it. I was wrong about this. I was wrong about this. I'm wrong about that. This is the worst process in the world. Like, this definitely does not give people inspiration to want to change. The only thing I'm saying is this process has been the worst and hardest thing in my life, but it is the greatest thing I've ever done, and I would do it again in a heartbeat. I fucking love it. I love the pain. I love the gut check, the ego and pride battles, because it's the hardest battle I've ever faced. It's embarrassing, but yet it pushes you. Like, it's so weird. It's hard to explain it. It's like getting kicked in. I don't know. I like pain. I do. I've always liked pain because it's real to me. And anything that I inflict on myself, I like even more, because I know it's mine. And that has to do with me being empathetic my whole life. And always having effing compassion and people using that against me. And I used to not know how to control it, but now I do. But yeah, this is the hardest process I've ever been in. And it sucks. It sucks so bad. It sucks. But at the same time, it's the greatest thing I've ever done. And I'll do it again in a minute. And I miss it. I miss those dark battles, man. I really do. And but they're done. It's like, okay, it's done, whatever. It's cool. Because now I do have peace for the most part. Honestly, I do. I'm not really worried about anything. I'm worried about. I'm still worried about stuff. I mean, I'm still like afraid to surrender. I'm afraid to be my max potential. I'm afraid to scare people. I'm afraid to hurt people. I've always been afraid to hurt people my whole life. Physically, and then just my presence in general. My dominant power in general, my authority in general, but all that is the same stuff everyone has. When you become confident in who you are, like no one can contest you, no one, unless someone's confident in them, and then it's just a battle of. It's really not a battle. Because you're confident in yourself, so it doesn't fucking matter. You're not competing with anybody. That's what's so crazy about this whole process. And it makes me laugh because I think about people being competitive. And it makes me laugh. It's because, like, what are you competing for? Like, what do you win? Like, in the grand scheme of things, what do you win? I've been like this my whole life. I used to, when I had a roommate, we'd play baseball together, basketball games together, all these games. And ultimately, I never really cared about winning. I just enjoyed playing, ultimately, because I knew, like, what do you really win? It doesn't really fucking matter. Like, maybe he's better than me at this game, yeah. That's fine. Or maybe I'm better at him at another thing. But that's just fun. That's just fun. We're just playing games together. It's like when we were climbing together, it's not like we were never competitive about climbing. He's better at this kind of stuff. I'm better at this kind of stuff. Maybe I'm a little bit stronger, but he's a little bit longer. You know, like, it didn't matter. Like, we're just having fun. We're friends. We're buddies. Like, we're going through this world together. We're climbing together. I'm his belayer. He's my belayer. Like, I'm there to keep him safe. He's there to keep me safe. We're a team. We're partners. We're not competing against each other. And, you know, it's cool to win, I guess. I mean, it feels good, but it's not. Like, but why do we compete with everybody? Like, why do we compete with our husbands and wives? Like, there's no winner there. Like, what do you win? And so for me, I've gone through my whole life not really caring about winning, but just enjoying the moment and time that I'm with people. And yeah, if I win, then that's cool, I guess, but it's not like, but then we play a new game and it starts over again. I don't care. It was cool in the moment, but there's no trophy. There's no bragging rights, really. There's no, who cares? Like, you're my friend. I'm not competing. I want you to do the best you can do, and hopefully I can be a challenge for you. And you can make me better, and hopefully I can make you better. I've been like this my whole life. It's so weird. And maybe there's sometimes we kind of brag or something just because we knew it got underneath the other person's skin or something. But, you know, that was just young, immature acting. And now as I've gotten older, like, I'm really like, dude, there's no point in competing. The only person you should compete with is yourself. Because that's the only real reward, is to make yourself better. You know? I mean, I guess you compete with someone else with the goal to make them better. That's fine. But, like, there's still not there's not a reward. Like, I beat you today. Like, I don't know. To me, it's just weird. I mean, I guess I like to compete, I guess. It adds a little challenge to it, but it's not, I don't know. I don't know what I'm talking about. I don't know. But you should just always hope for the best. You should always try to build people up and just try and make them better. But whatever, to each his own. So yeah, I just started being mindful and started acting every day, all day. Just being aware of what I do. And every day I'm getting better. Like every day this action is changing the new stuff. Like now I'm starting to understand time a little bit better. My time is slowing down. I'm more aware of what's going on all around me. And now I'm more focused instead of my mind. I'm focused on my actions and why I'm doing what I'm doing. And my brain has become silent. And I'm one with my brain. I'm one with myself. I'm one with my words. And like, I'm super confident in what I say. It's super weird. It's like everything I say is meant to be said. And whatever repercussions come from the words that come out of my mouth, I'm okay with. And I'm willing to defend them. And I'm also willing to apologize if something comes out that was wrong. Because I am human. But I'm still confident in my first initial thoughts. And I know if I say something wrong, it was meant to come out that way for me, a lesson to learn and grow. Because that pride and ego check makes something permanent. If you say something and do something wrong, you have to feel that feeling. You have to live in that emotion, which causes you shame, and guilt. So this is the real part of shame and guilt. This is good shame and guilt. When you do something wrong, that's real wrong. And you do it yourself. Not someone putting shame and guilt on you, but you putting shame and guilt on yourself. Because you do know that you said something wrong. And then you apologize for that and you correct that action. That's a lesson that's learned. That's when shame and guilt is supposed to be used. Not when somebody shame and guilts you. That's bullshit. You know, maybe that's what narcissists, they don't have shame and guilt for the actions that they do. But as you become one with yourself and you start understanding, and you understand what good and bad is and what you should and shouldn't do, and you start having shame and guilt when you act on stuff and not having someone tell you that you did something wrong. Because no one has a right to tell you did something wrong. Really, kinda, sort of. I don't know. I mean, I guess they do, but for me, it's just like the churches and stuff like that, the shame and guilt people. I don't like that. It makes zero sense. But if I do something wrong, I do want people to tell me. Or if I offended them or said something, I want them. So I just want them to tell me what I did, and then I reevaluate it. And if I feel shame and guilt about it, then I can apologize. And it's a lesson for me. But I'm not talking about other people right now. I'm just talking about you. Like, you become more aware of yourself. You become more aware of what you're doing and why you do it. And you just start choosing what you want to be. What makes you happy. You start understanding that. You start understanding what you do want to do and don't want to do. You know? I don't want to run around cussing people and calling them names. It makes zero sense to me. I want to go around lifting people up. And I want them to feel the way I feel. I want them to be happy like I'm happy. I want them to find love in themselves and not need me. I want them to be able to walk tall. I want them to be happy with themselves. And I want to know that when they're alone, they're not in their head crying like I was. No one loves me. Ooh. Yeah, love yourself. You gotta love yourself first. I mean, that's what I felt like my whole life. Alone. That no one loved me. No one really cared about me. My whole life. And I kind of feel like that now. But there's really only a few people that really, I can depend on. that would go out of the way for me, like legitimately, and that truly love me. And I'm guilty of the same thing in return. Like I try to be there for people, but at the same time, it's like I know I can't always be there, and especially if they don't reach out to me, then how am I supposed to know? So it's a double-edged sword. It's two things, but yeah, I mean, I know people truly love me, and I truly love them, and I would do anything for them, but they got to pick up the phone and call me. I don't know, man. It's been a fun journey, to say the least. And, like I said, I had to start acting. Like I said, I lay my pillow. This was so funny. It's like I would lay my pillow on the... Like, my body knew. And this is what's so crazy. Is like I would get... I started physically getting, like, my energy levels and my happiness would change. Like, if I knew I was walking into my house, like, I was like, boom, I'd get excited because I'm fixing to go paint. Like, so my body would physically get high. When I was painting every single day, like, my mind and my body would prepare. I'd pull into my driveway, and my body would just start getting physically high. And, like, excited and euphoric. Like, I'm fixing to listen to music, and I'm fixing to paint. And my body was just ready for it, gearing up for it. And then when I would get done, as I was preparing to go to bed, like, my body, like, as soon, like, I would start getting giddy. So I would come out of some euphoric state, and my body would start getting giddy. And as soon as my head would touch the pillow, I would start laughing. Because I knew I was fixing to have some real fun. I was really fixing to spend time with myself. I was fixing to get the intellectual stuff that I needed. I was fixing to talk. Ask myself some stupid ass questions and have fun and just work out problems and questions. Like, and I loved it. I loved it so much. Like, I would laugh as soon as my head would hit that pillow, dude. I would just start laughing, and I would have time until I fell asleep. Like, literally, I would talk until I fell asleep. And some of those talks were crazy, bro. Like, fun, and to each its own. Because I don't have, I never recorded them, so they were meant to be, and they were meant to be that way for a reason. And I battled a lot of different stuff there, a lot of darker stuff there, and asked a lot of different questions, and asked for a lot of different things that I was battling at the time. And a lot of that was kind of like heartbreak stuff, and so I'm glad I'm not talking about any of that stuff anymore, especially in these talks, because that stuff is really embarrassing, and it had to be that way. It had to be that way. And so whatever. And then, like I said, and then at some point over the last couple years, like, I joked about having a YouTube a couple years ago. And what I did was I made my YouTube tag a couple years ago. I was like, you know what, I want to go ahead and get it. I don't know, so I did. And then so I think I talked to somebody. I met somebody who played music or makes music, and then I met another girl who sings, and whatever. And and as soon as I met them, like, in my head, I was like, because I was always thinking. I'm thinking all the time, even though I'm not. But there's always questions like that pop in my head that inspire me. Oh, I want to know the answer to. And the question that popped in my head was, how do you listen to yourself and like it to this guy who makes music? And that was the question. I didn't even care about the answer, to be honest with you, because everything that I ask is ultimately for me, to grow. And it's ultimately me asking myself questions, and then answering my own questions with, if people tell me their answers, then I use that information to answer my own question. Whatever. So that inspired me to go, you know what? I'm talking to myself every night already, and I really enjoy the process. I really enjoy giving myself time. So, I don't like the sound of my voice. And I know this because playing video games for many years, sometimes you get echo and you would hear your own voice, right? Or you would hear your own voice come back through someone else's mic. And I always hated it. And I was like, you know what? If I really love myself, then I really need to love myself. Like, I need to hear and listen to myself talk. And so I was like, you know what? I'm just going to start recording myself. And so I did. And that kind of happened for a couple days. And then I was like, you know what? I'm just going to start recording these talks as I lay in bed. And so I started doing that. And then I was like, you know what? So now I need to listen to them. So I recorded them, and I just started listening to them, and I didn't, I don't know if I started posting them or not yet. But maybe I did. I think I did, because I was like, you know what? I got to make this real. I got to make this tangible. I got to make it so I cannot take it back. Because I need no escape. I don't need to run away. Because I know every time I'm really good at running away. I'm the best. I'm the best at running away. I've ran away my whole life. And so I made it real. And I posted it on YouTube, and then started listening to it every single day. Like, I would record at night, I would upload it, I would listen to it as I go back to sleep, and then the next day I would listen to it all day until the next night when I recorded another one. And at first, dude, I hated it. I was like, dude, I'm crazy. I got all these voices, I got all these emotions, everything's going up and down, and but after a couple of days, I was like, you know, I really, like, it became normal, and I came to love the way I talked. And it's not even that I loved it, it's just like I accepted it because it was me now. It was me. It is me. You know? And I was proud of it. And I was amazed by the information. And then it just kind of like, it just made sense. It just clicked. It was just like, boom. Like, why would I give my time to other humans? Because I have no idea what they're doing, what their intent is. Hell, I don't even like them. So why would I give them my time? Like, why would I let them program me with their thoughts? I was like, you know, I'll just program myself with myself. And we'll see what happens. Because I went down many roads, and I've thought about a lot of different things, and you know, and I've never said that I'm smart. Well, I've never thought that I was smart, but I am. I'm pretty intelligent. More intelligent than I think I am. And I think all humans are. And that's what I love about humans. It's like, you guys are freaking brilliant. And the more that I spend time with myself, the more that I see, like, the brilliance in other human beings. And all of them. Every single one. Like, humans are fire, dude. Like, if you would just quit running away from yourself and start giving yourself time, you can solve any problem that you're facing. Any of them. You know the answer. You know what you need to do. But all we do is run. I'm running now. I know I need to go finish a job, but I've just been running away from that. It's so stupid. It's the dumbest thing ever. I'm so dumb. It could have been done a million times long ago. And I would have been set forever. Not ever, but I would have been fine. Like, I wouldn't have any issues. But instead, I just been running. But I guess it had to be this way. It had to be this way, and everything is perfect, because everything in the past is perfect. I can't go back and change it, and I can't give it my energy. So I deem everything in the past perfect. Yes, the outcome and repercussions are real. Yes, they're real. But there's nothing you can do about it. It was perfect. And I don't look in the past. I don't let the past affect me. I just keep pushing forward. And yes, it's difficult. And yes, it sucks in the moment. And yes, it feels like no one loves you sometimes. And yes, it feels like it's never going to get better. But that's just life. and the moment will pass. But if you sit still and don't act, then yeah, you're going to sit in the hell that you created. Because you're ultimately creating it right now with all those thoughts. You have to take your power back. You have to be mindful. You have to control your thoughts. And it's easier said than done. But once you learn the process and you learn how to do it, then it's easier. Easier done than said. Because it becomes normal, it becomes regular, it becomes part of you. And some stuff sucks, like I said, man. It's hard for me to go to work. But it's because it wasn't meant to be. Like, it really wasn't. Like, it's funny. It's because I had to keep growing in other aspects before I was able to return back to work. And I can't explain it. And it's not me just justifying why I haven't been working as much as I should. But it just had to be that way, and I can't explain it. Because everything is a lesson. Everything is a lesson. Everything, man. But today was cool, man, and I don't even know what I did. Other than painting. Painting was fire, man. It was fun. And I really didn't even want to paint, but then I was like, you know what? I got time. I want to record a video and I want to paint it. So, and it worked out good. I actually like this painting a lot. A lot. I can't wait to look at it more tonight when I go to sleep. And I can't wait for it to dry and take it outside with real light. It's fire, dude. And I really need to start selling my paintings like I need to bad. I just gotta, like I said, I gotta finish one thing first. I gotta get that behind me. I gotta quit running away from it, take care of it, and be done. And so I can reevaluate my life. But it's hard to reevaluate your life and change it when you got stuff from the past that you haven't dealt with. And so I gotta deal with some stuff so I can move forward. But everything's happening for a reason, man. And I only hope the best for people. And the process that I've gone in, like I said, dude, it's been fun to say the least. It's been fun. And yes, it sucked in the process. It sucked every day. The pride and ego checks, as bad as they suck, they're super fun. Just because ultimately all it is giving yourself time, and I can't explain how much you start to love yourself. Because I went from not even knowing I existed, other than just walking through life as a ghost, with no emotions other than just pissed off and mad because, oh, woe is me, pitiful little Cody ass, you know. Just being a little bitch, to be honest with you, and not doing anything about it, not changing, not stepping towards a different version of me, not trying to better myself, just being a little bitch. And like I said, this has been the most exciting time of my life. With the ups, with the downs, with crying, with, you know, being happy, being sad, like working out super hard, doing extreme stuff, like, it's just been crazy, man, but it's been worth every minute of it, and it's been the most fun I've ever had, and ever, because every day is fun, and you just learn to be like, you start understanding that everything is as it is. Everything is meant to be. And everything is for a lesson. And everything is to help you grow. And once you start loving yourself, you know, that was the first thing, is I unconditionally loved myself, and I was like, the past is perfect. I have to forgive myself. I can't go back. I can't live in the past. Because that's stupid. That's pointless. That's dumb. That's the dumbest thing ever. To hang in the past And to always look in the past where you can't even physically do anything about it, there's nothing you can do about it. Everything in the past is done. So for me to go whine and cry in the past, like, it just seems stupid to me. I was like, I might as well just stay in hell. Because that's what it is. It's hell. And it's a hell that you open the door and walk into. Every time you go into the past and you just sit and dwell in the past where you can't even physically do anything about it. Well, at least at first you can. You can go back and change it, but if you're going in the past and staying in the past, you don't know how to do that stuff yet. So you are in hell. In the hell you created in this movie. You bought a ticket to the movie theater, and you walked in there, and then they shut the door behind you. You shut the door for yourself, and you threw the key out. You threw the key outside. You locked the door on the outside, and then you walked in there yourself. And that's the hell you're in. Like, you got to figure out how to get your ass out. It's your hell. You created it. There's a way out. But you got to destroy something that you created to get out of that hell. And that's what I did. I went through and destroyed the world that I created. I destroyed the movie theater that I created. And I busted out of that stuff. It sucks. It's a very tough process. Very difficult. But possible. But only possible if you give yourself time. And not a little bit of time. And not, pretend to give yourself time. But give yourself time. I mean, you have to be able to go back and look at everything and find the lesson in every situation. And then be grateful for the lesson you learned. And take your power back from every situation that you can. And I haven't done it for all my stuff. I haven't faced a lot of stuff, and but I don't need to. I don't need to right now because I faced enough. It's kind of like this. It's kind of like, say you were trying to cross a river. And the only way you can cross a river is if you build a little bridge, a stone bridge. Now, you can start throwing stones in there and piling them up, and then you don't have to build the stone bridge all the way to the other side. There may be a point where you can just jump the rest of the way. And then you don't have to finish all the work. Right? And that's kind of what I did. I did enough to get where I could just run and jump to the other side because I wanted to get over there fast. I wanted to face as much as I could, and I wanted to get to the promised land as quick as possible to the other side. Now, I'm living in the promised land, but at some point I'm going to have to go back and build the bridge the rest of the way. Completely build it so other people can cross. So I'm going to have to fix all that stuff at some point. I'm going to have to go back and finish and look at the rest of my past, the stuff that sucks. But I wanted to go over there and get fed first. I wanted to go sleep. I wanted to learn as much information as I can so when I go back I can battle it easier than before. And I picked up the new skills that I need to go back and face it. So that's kind of what I've done. And maybe I find someone in that promised land to come back and help me. So I don't have to face that last little bit by myself. Or maybe there's more information in there to help me face some stuff. But you got to start acting and get to the point to where you can learn to control your thoughts. And start to love yourself. And the more time that you love yourself, or you give yourself, the more you're going to love yourself. It's so funny. It's like any relationship in the world. The more you're with someone, the more you either learn you love them or you hate them. And then you walk away, you know what I'm saying? So like the more you spend time with someone, like you grow closer to them every day. You either learn to love them and respect them even more, or you grow distance because you don't like them, and then you separate. This is the same thing. The only difference is, if you're doing the work right and you're facing the battles and you're correcting things, you will only learn to love yourself more. Honestly, I don't see how, honestly, the issue is what humans do is they don't like themselves, so they instantly just turn around and run away. But if they just gave themselves a little bit of time and they just got past that first little hurdle and they continue to give themselves time and correct stuff and start looking at themselves, they would only love themselves. They would learn to love themselves even more and more every day. It's like dating. It's like, say you walk up to someone and you think he's weird until you fucking instantly turn around because you don't want to mess with them. Because you don't like what you see, or you don't think they're good enough for you. That's what it is. So when you're sitting by yourself, at home by yourself, and you fucking start crying because you hate yourself, you should probably just cry, and then start talking to yourself. And like once you get past that moment, and quit running away, like start asking yourself questions. Start talking to yourself. Like, what's wrong? Like, what's really wrong? Why do I not like myself? What is the issue? And at first it sucks, it's hard, it's difficult. Because you don't like yourself. Because you're not taking care of yourself. You're not loving yourself. You're not, you don't think you're worthy. But the more you give yourself time, the more you start to love yourself. Because you're all you got. When you start to understand that, like, ultimately no one really gives a fuck about you. Because everyone's only worried about themselves. And so you got to be able to find that. You got to find that within yourself. You really do. And that's what I've done. And this talk is weird. And some of the stuff sounds like it contradicts itself. It's going back and forth. And it's because my brain right now is it kind of sucks. Because, like I said, the journey has sucked. But it's been the best at the same time. It's been both. It's been both extremes. It's been back and forth. It's been a game of the ping pong where you got the screen and there's two sides that's going up and down. And it's just back and forth, back and forth. But some fire-ass music playing the whole time. Because it was nothing but a game. And I just keep leveling up. And I truly love myself, dude. It's so weird. And yes, I'm still battling stuff, and I'm still kind of afraid of my true potential and who I can be. But I don't really care about anybody else. I don't have time to think about anybody else putting me down. I'm not thinking I'm good enough anymore. Because I'm ultimately just always giving myself time. And being that I'm alone and I don't have a husband and or I don't have a wife and I don't have kids, like, and I don't have a mom anymore, and I don't really talk to my older brother at all, and my sister and little brother I don't talk to that much. Like I don't have anyone around me that just like even affected by what I do. It's just me. So for me, it's a little bit different than the average human that has a husband and a wife, and kids and stuff like that. Like, that's a little bit different because you have people that depend on you and stuff. But for me right now, it's like I'm the only one who depends on me. So ultimately, whatever I do, it really doesn't affect anyone. But I still have boundaries and lines that I will not cross, and I don't want to hurt anybody. Like, I have rules and regulations set in place where I don't affect anyone negatively, hopefully. I try not to. I'm always aware of not want to do that. And sometimes I do, man. Sometimes I say shit that sucks sometimes, man, ultimately. But or it's not as empathetic as it should be. But maybe it's not. Maybe the empathy is not needed there, and I think so. I think a lot of what I say sometimes is pretty harsh and pretty blunt and straightforward. But I think that is me being empathetic, because I'm so empathetic that I'm not, because I know that sometimes you need to get kicked in the dick to change. Sometimes you need someone to hit you in the face with a baseball bat for you to change. And sometimes you need someone to stop all your momentum so you can breathe and stop and think and change. You know? Because all we're doing is running away. All of us, man. Everything. Every time we go out and get drunk, get hammered, try and take some girl home, like, we're just running away. You know, and that's the point with drugs. Like drugs and alcohol, like, cool, man, each his own. Like, have fun with it. Like I said, everything is us just run away to escape from what's really going on. And you know, and I'll drink every now and then a little bit, and sometimes I'll go out and drink a little bit too much, or have a little bit too much fun, and then I kind of regret it when I get done. Mostly just for my body, not mostly because I just know it wasn't really good for my body. I don't really technically regret having that fun or doing it that way. I just regret that that I even used those things, because I can have fun without it. And before I used to not, and now that as more confident that I get in myself, like, I can have more fun. And like I said, hopefully one day I can just literally have as much fun as I want. Go dance when I want, and maybe even break loose and dance like a crazy man. Just sling my arms around, look like I'm Sesame Street or something. I don't know. Or maybe I'll never dance that way. I don't know. But every day I'm just working to break free. Like, every day I'm working to surrender to myself. To keep shedding and taking off all these chains that's been on me my whole life. And to truly step into my power, which is going to happen one day. You know, one day when I'm no longer afraid of being who I'm supposed to be completely. You know, whatever that is. Whatever that is, man. I'm excited. I don't know when it's going to happen. I know I got to just quit running away, though. We're all marathon runners, bro. All of us. All we do is run away. And it may not seem like it, but all we're doing is running away from the most important person in our lives, which is ourselves. All we're doing. And it's sad. And yeah, there's balance in there. But I just didn't have, I was so jacked up. If I would have had a significant other, there's no way I would have ever changed. Ever. I know this for a fact. So my life is the way it is because it had to be this way. And now I'm ready. I'm ready to be whoever I'm supposed to be. I'm ready to step in to whatever shoes that are mine that I need to step into. You know, I'm ready to punch someone completely now. Not really, I don't want to hurt nobody, but I'm ready to give it my all, whatever that is. I'm ready to not hold back anymore. On any aspect of me. Either you like it or you don't. It doesn't really matter. I could care less. You know, because I'm moving forward. And either you're coming or you're not. And I can't make you come with me. It's up to you. You know, it's almost like I'm on an obstacle course, and you guys can come with me. You know, and I can help you get over some of it. Or maybe we can help each other get over some of it. But you still gotta help yourself. If you gotta do half the work and I do the other half. But I still gotta jump over things on my own too. You know, I still gotta face this course on my own too. But in some situations I can, once I get to the top, I can lean over and grab your hand and help pull you up. But you gotta jump to my hand. And then you gotta try and kick and climb too. You know? You know, and maybe I've already ran the course by myself. And I wasn't fixing to run it again with y'all. Which is probably more likely the truth. That's how I've always done things. I'm so weird. But yeah, man, I love it. I love talking. I love talking to myself. I love spending time with myself every single day. Like, I can't explain it, man, because I try and talk to people, and like I said, people are like this, and people want to change, but I'm like, well then fucking spend time with yourself. Like, I'm not mean, I don't tell them that. I'm like, I do say, like, well then, give yourself time. Like, legitimately give yourself time. Jump out of the past, forget the past, and just try and live in the moment for once. Just talk to yourself. Ask yourself stupid ass questions. And then really answer them. And then be willing to accept the answer. And you are not going to like the answers if you ask yourself real questions. You will not like them. I guarantee you. But you have to face them. And you have to deal with that pride and ego battle. And if you can never get past the first pride and ego battle, then just fucking quit. I'll tell you now. Quit. But if you ever make it past the first pride and ego battle, holla at me. Because it only gets easier. But not really. It's difficult, but it's fun, to say the least. But once you can face that first pride and ego battle and really face it, really believe it to the core, really understand that, yeah, you're the fucking problem. You did something wrong. Now let's change it, but really believe it and then act on that. Effing apologize to somebody. And the real apology. Not a fake one. Well, your whole breath and makeup understands that you have so much shame and guilt for yourself. Not shame and guilt that someone put on you. But you ultimately taking responsibility for your own actions for the first time in your life. And you have to admit that you're wrong. And then you have to humble yourself enough to tell yourself you're sorry. And that you never want it to happen again. And then do what it takes to never let that happen again. And then apologize to another human being. And truly mean it. And then try your best to never do that act again. Boom. Once you do that once, you're good to go, man. That's it. Boom. That first pride and ego battle is the worst, man. But once you know it's possible, and it's not that bad, it really isn't. No one's shaming and guilting you. But it's a battle against yourself. It's done. And then you can go forward, man. Keep going. Keep asking yourself dumbass questions, hard questions that you don't want to ask yourself, bro. And then answer them. Dude, it sucks. It's fun though. It's so fun. It's embarrassing, dude. It's fun. It's life. It's part of it. It's the greatest video game ever made. And it's yours. Yours alone. And you created it. Go defeat it. Go defeat it. And it sucks though, because then it's like me. Now I gotta go do some stuff, and I don't want to go do it. But it's part of my video game. I made this video game. That means I selected this level that I gotta face. And, I just gotta show up and face it. I gotta face it. And like I said, and a lot, it's funny because it's like, honestly, like every day I care less and less about what people think. And hopefully one day I don't care at all. Because I know that the rules and regulations that I put on myself restrict me from doing harm. As much, I try to other people. Even though it still may do harm to people, it's not my intent, and I don't have malice with it. My words and stuff do hurt people, whatever. So, sticks and stones will break your bones, but words or something, whatever. But you just realize, like, it doesn't matter, man. At the end of the day, when you're alone by yourself, no one's there with you. I don't have anyone shotgun with me. I'm in my truck alone. I gotta be happy with that. When you close your eyes, even if you're laying next to somebody, like, you're alone. You're alone in your own brain. When you go take a shit, you're alone. Unless someone just sits there with you and watches you, which is weird. Like, ultimately, you're always alone. Even in a crowd full of people, you're always alone. You have to learn to be happy with yourself alone. You have to learn to love yourself alone. Like, that's the number one thing. You're born alone, you die alone. What changes in between then? Nothing. You're always alone. Always. So you better find out how to be happy in between then. Alone. In your own brain, in your own mind, in your own consciousness. You're always alone. This is a single player game. Everybody else is non-playable characters. They interact with you. You interact with them. They're pre-programmed to react a certain way based on what you're putting out. So this is straight simulation. This world is an effing simulation. It has to be. Because, it's straight video game, bro. Because, like, if I walk up to someone, I could be like, hey, you little bitch. And if I do that, they're going to react in a certain way. But if I walked up to someone and was like, what's up, buddy? Let's go have fun. Let's go ride go-karts. And then they would react a certain way. And I'm not in control of any of that. But I do control what I give them. I can either talk to them with malice and hate, and I get that in return, or I can talk to them with love and be friendly, and I'll get that in return. And so really, like I said, this is my world. I'm in my own world right now. Everyone else is non-playable characters. Therefore, what I put out, I get in return. If I walk around with a mean-ass face, I'm going to get whatever I put out in return. If I walk around with a smile, I'm going to get that in return. And there's nothing I can do to change or control any of those non-playable characters. I could dangle a carrot in front of their face and like maybe walk them somewhere. I could flash some money in front of them and walk them and get them to go somewhere. But they still have to choose to follow that money or not. I'm not in control of them ever. I can entice them. I can walk around so happy and all the time and have so much joy that I can entice people to come to me and ask me why I'm this way. But I can't, and then I can tell them how I've done it and why I've done it and why I'm the way I am, but I cannot do it for them. I can only tell them the way that I've done it. And whether they listen to my advice or not, whether they do the work or not, it has nothing to do with me. Because it's on them. They have to put that software into their program. And then they have to run that program. They have to hit the run button and they have to act. Because they can take the software in, but if they don't implement it, they don't turn it on, then what's the fucking point? And then they get mad at me. But they don't like me because I pushed the run button. And they never did. And then they're upset with themselves because, well, pity me. I'm not happy. Oh, you forgot to do, hit run. And then do the action. Yeah, you got all the knowledge. You have the same knowledge I do. Because we all do have the same knowledge. We all have the same information. I just pushed run. And then did it. And you haven't. You haven't took the steps to do it. You haven't took the time to do it. You have the knowledge, the same knowledge that I do. I'm not better or less than anyone else. We're the same. From day one. We came in this world alone and we die alone. Day one to the last day. On the same plane. In the same environment. Yes, some of our lessons are a little bit different than others. Some of our all of our experiences are different. But we're on the same field. We're in the same environment. We all have the same opportunities to get knowledge. We have all the same opportunities to give ourselves time. So I'm not better than anyone, or less than anyone. I just push play. I read the manuscript, and then I started acting it out. Well, other people just read the manuscript and said, this looks stupid, I'm not going to do it. And I was like, this looks stupid, but I'm going to do it because why not? Because what's the harm in trying? I've tried everything else and nothing's worked. My life sucks. I'm not happy. I hate myself. I don't even exist. So I might as well do the opposite. Found this manuscript on the ground. I picked it up and started reading it, started acting it out and living it. You know why? Because there's nothing else to do. Nothing else has worked. Might as well try this. And it fucking worked. Now I'm happy. I'm having fun every day. I'm living life. But it's fire, man. It's so fun. Whatever happens, happens. Like literally. Whatever happens, happens. And I'm okay with that. As long as someone's not dead or bleeding out, like have fun, man. It's all cool. There's real repercussions to things. But whatever, man. It's fire. I'm done. I got to go to sleep. I'm tired. Weird talk. Everyone's running away. Even I run away. Even I've been running away. Hopefully I'm not running away much longer. I just need to face that last little bit that I've been running away from and be done with it and walk into my new life. Walk into my power and don't be afraid of being great. Don't be afraid of being yourself and have fun. I love y'all. Peace.